Well, with that estimated 200 hostages still being held by Hamas, some measure of relief for the family and friends of freed American hostages, mother and daughter, Judith and Natalie Ra'anan. Joining me now is their friend and Rabbi Meir Hecht. Rabbi, thank you so much for being with us, giving us some of your time. First, can you please describe what the past 2.5 weeks have been like?
Nichole, thank you for having me. The past 2 weeks, I should say, until Friday, have been utter devastation, pain, shock, grief for all of Israel and for all people of the civilized world after Hamas perpetrated the most gruesome and horrific terrorist attack on babies, women, men on the streets and homes of Israel. We were all horrified with that information. But for us, it's been very personal, of course, because Judith and Natalie are from our congregation, from our community, from our town. They're our neighbors, they're our friends. And it really was very personal for us and for the whole community, for the whole city. And we've been praying, we've been asking God to do a miracle for us. And I think our prayers were answered. I know our prayers were answered. The miracle came about on Friday. The news just overwhelming, an incredible, tremendous amount of inner gratitude and just happiness and joy all around with this news that they've been released. We have this tremendous gratitude to God Almighty for this miracle. At the same time, it's really critical to remember that our joy is tempered by the knowledge that we have our brothers and sisters, over 200 plus hostages that are still in the hands of murderous terrorists, Hamas. And we continue to beseech and to pray and to ask for their immediate release.
Well, Rabbi, I want to talk to you about that. We are seeing, now 2 more hostages released. Does that give you hope? And how do you view these releases by Hamas? Obviously, it is with great joy to have Judith and Natalie back. What do you think Hamas is doing?
Well, I'm no political analyst. I'm a rabbi. I'm a man of faith. And I do know that Hamas is a vicious, vile terrorist organization. What they have up their sleeve, the cynical plot that they're presenting to the world by slowly letting out various hostages under the guise of so-called, humanitarian release. I don't know what they have up their sleeve, but I do know that they're not good people. And I really pray for the hostages that are in their hands, because they're not in the hands of friendly, kind people. They're in the hands of evil, vicious perpetrators of the worst massacre that humanity has seen in a long time.
And Rabbi, have you had a chance to speak with Judith and Natalie? When was the last time you did, and what was that conversation like?
Yes, we spoke on Saturday night after the Jewish Sabbath. The conversation was out of worldly. It was this immense feeling of joy and something that I can't even describe. When you talk to someone that just a day earlier was going through the most horrendous experience that anyone can ever dream of, and then they're freed and you could talk to them. It's kind of like talking to someone who's back from another universe, back from another world. Really, it was incredible. And to be able to hear from Judith, who expressed this amazing amount of strength of character and how her trust in God didn't waver for a moment throughout the entire 2-week ordeal, and how she kept Natalie at her side and they supported each other. It was extremely special, one of the most moving, uplifting, and inspiring moments of my life.
And Rabbi, one thing I wanted to touch on is some people were surprised at how good Judith and Natalie look, but there was so much damage we know that can be done that may not be physical, that is emotional, that is spiritual. Talk about that.
The psychological impact, the emotional, the spiritual, we will have to be there for them, the family and the community, and we will do everything we can to support them. The effects of what Hamas is trying to do on the individuals and the country and the world at large, They want to inflict terror. Terrorists want to inflict terror.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.